Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with the ESL Pro Tour Americas Weekly number 9. I'm your host, Nathanias, bringing you coverage of the NA Weeklies every week, starting at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying today's show, and hopefully, if you're tuning in from YouTube, you're enjoying the casts in general. We are in the second semifinal. The winner of this best of 3 will go up against U Thermal in the grand finals for the NA Weekly Cup. In the Northeast, we have the Red Zerg player, formerly of Germany, now representing Canada and North America. He is TLO, otherwise known as the Wunderwunsch, an iconic name coined by my good friend Jeffrey. In the bottom left, we have a man for whom many span quite a few Doritos. It is Juanito, aka Special. Life is good, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of awesome StarCraft content, lots of awesome StarCraft action on the weekends. I have loved being able to check out the ESL Pro Tour stuff. We just had the Intel Extreme Masters at Katowice conclude about a week ago, where we saw Rogue take home quite the championship, doing very well for himself, defeating Zest in the grand finals. It was a bit of a bopping. I woke up in my hotel room in Boston. I was over at PAX doing a gig there, and I was like, oh, the finals are starting. And I opened the stream, and it was already 1-0, and I'm like, oh, that's odd. Okay. And then the rest of the games ended very quickly. But these tournaments have really given players awesome opportunities to kind of build themselves up, to perform consistently over a long period of time, and you can get a lot of points for winning these. Folks love to talk about, hey, it's only 10 points if you win, compared to 500 points for second place at IEM. And I'm like, yeah, well, not everybody can get second place at IEM. In fact, only one person can get the second place points from any of the big events, and there's only going to be maybe 6 of them this year if we're lucky. So I personally think that being able to consistently perform in these cups is actually going to separate a few individuals from the rest of the chaff once we get to the World Championships next year. Of course, Special, a player that we always talk about as being on the verge of his big breakthrough to get a big championship. A lot of people would say that of non-Korean Terrans, he's probably the most due for a big run, but he's come close and not quite made it, unfortunately. But he's definitely someone we've still got our eyes on this year for the foreign Terran hopes. Him, as well as some of the other rising stars to talk about, like Clem and possibly U Thermal, who was the last foreign Terran champion that we had in StarCraft 2. But Dario putting out quite a few speedlings to try to deal with these Reapers, as it's been kind of an annoying opening from Special. He's been doing this today. He's been building several Reapers, and look at this. He's still adding Reapers back at home with his Hellion follow-up, because he says to himself, well, I'm probably going to play mech. Why would I want to build any Marines this game? Rather just have the Reapers and the Hellions that are going to give me a little bit more of that versatility with the early game. But Dario, not doing too bad, looking for the opportunity. I will say Special's defended this pretty flawlessly. Has he killed any workers? There we go. Now Dario focusing down those SCVs. Gets a grab on the Hellion in the mineral line, coming into the outside too. This is one of the things people talk about when they're worried about Zen, is you got multiple openings to your bases. The Reaper's going to grab in a natural, and TLO is taking first blood here. Not in the sense that the game is over, but more so in the sense that, hot damn, the Wunderwunsch is bringing that spicy. I don't know. Do Germans have any spicy food? Are there any big popular spicy foods in Germany or Canada for that matter? I feel like it's more savory flavors, right? Like poutine's very savory. Schnitzel's kind of like, honestly, it's like the German version of chicken tenders. Let's be real. You can find that stuff anywhere, and it's delicious and definitely will help round out a belly. So the Baneling Nest's going to finally get dropped down by Dario. He's in no rush here. It's just Hellions at the moment from Special. He's getting an armory, he's getting a Liberator, but the Overlord can literally just sit here and be like, suh, dude, I don't even think the Marine could kill it before the Liberator pops, but not that it necessarily matters. He just wants to scout. He does have the Hellbats, he does have a few of the Reapers, and I mean, for everything that TLO has done, I actually didn't realize he still was able to maintain so many of his Hellions. It looks like Special could get some serious damage done with this counter. I think if you're TLO, you kind of want Special to kill this third base and just kind of chill here. He will bring the queens over, but you definitely don't want him to push up onto where the drones are. In fact, he already moved the drones out of the natural because that is your primary concern. If you can hold this with your drone lead, I think you're in a pretty okay spot because it is mech. The queens are trying to target down that hatch. I love TLO moving the spore though. Moving the spore to try and keep the medevac from microing too much. Very big. The Baneling's getting close to the Hellbats. He's going to split them, but that also just gives the queens time to do the damage that they need to do. So very well done defense by TLO. Doesn't lose any workers. Another Liberator is going to make its way over to the main base, but we already have a queen. Look at the reaction time as it comes into the Overlord's field of view. He could target down drones with this. I mean, killing the queen is also nice. Yeah, I see. Yeah, he just focuses it down for a few more there. You have already been touched by my killer queen. Good defense overall. Honestly, going into the Spire, getting the Carapace upgrade. I don't know exactly how well the tech setup is going to do. I feel like a lot of players usually versus mech-based Terran, we see a lot of compositions go a little bit more closer to Ravagers or Swarm Host Nidus, but Dr. Dario is going to try to bring his own special blend of herbs and spices to this game. Queens and Banelings trying to defend the Hellions. He did get a few drone kills there, though, and that definitely is going to make life easier for Juanito. You would much rather the Zerg be spending their larva on drones at this stage than on units. If they're spending it on units, it means that they're probably going to be able to hurt you soon. Now, it is Mutalisks, so Cyclones are actually not terrible against Mutas. Cyclones are not terrible against Mutalisks, but it's very hard to win a game with Mutas versus Terran. Mostly because Mutalisks are like, they're one of those units that the power creep, I think, of units in StarCraft 2 has made them... What is the line Bane has? He's like, victory has defeated you. That's right. Your Mutalisks are no longer that powerful. They can be very good. But there's the Roach Warren. That's what I was waiting for. Roachling with some Ravagers, very strong. The Mutas catching someone off guard are very strong, though. But the Cyclone with that lock-on range, yeah, we see almost one of them already killed. Cyclones are surprisingly good against Mutas at the low numbers. At this phase of the game, when there's not a lot, the Cyclones can be pretty solid. But with no support at all, the one Cyclone on the map goes down, and this one's trying to retreat to the turret, but the turret's not ready yet, trying to repair. Unfortunately, not able to do so. TLO, in those low unit count, is able to get that first win. Fantastic gameplay by Dr. Dario. I'm not going to lie. I did not think that that was going to work and instantly win the game like that, but hot damn, it did. Very, very well played game there by TLO. He handled everything perfectly, is all I can say about that. Great control all around. Special never was able to do what he wanted to do in that map. All right, we're loading into game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get her done. Dr. Dario feeling himself today. All right. In the Northwest, our hot Canadian stud. Crushing it today. He is TLO. Representing the base God squad. In the bottom right, his opponent, the blue Terran player. He is Special. Man, TLO. I mean, capitalized really well on that multi-Reaper opening with that many speedlings to get the shutdown, to kill the Reapers, to get the SCV kills, even that depot. I think when we talk about difficult parts for every race, the Terran economic ramp up is pretty slow in Legacy of the Void. And because of that, the Terran is very momentum based. It's very important that you do something that does damage at the start, because it takes a little while to get your eco going, even when you're trying to do something greedy like a 3 command center build. So for Special to take that damage, for Dr. Dario, for TLO to get that much damage done so early on, offsets so much time that it requires for a Terran to like actually build a scary army. It's just one of those, it's one of those things that when you see it, it makes the other guy look bad. It doesn't even, it's not even just a case of like, oh man, TLO, that looked good. It's like, no. TLO made Special look bad that last game because he hit him in such a way that there was almost nothing he could do, honestly. Like, TLO just completely dominated him. So, pretty awesome game out of him. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what happens here going into game number 2. Is TLO going to be able to secure himself a match against Uthermal in the finals? Or is Special going to bring out a little shake and bake and tie things up? I think either way, the audience certainly wins. We've got some fantastic StarCraft matches today. Really, we've had some extremely high quality, high level games. That's all I can really ask for. It really is something else to be able to witness these players at this level sock it to each other in such a way. But Special's gone for just a single Reaper opening this time. He says, all right, I'm going to go 1 Reaper into the Marine. That Marine, of course, helps prevent early scouts by the Zerg. This Reaper has the Lings here. That's very important because you want to know. Never mind, take it all back. Oof. Ouch. Owie. My bones. It's not supposed to happen. So TLO perhaps getting Special a little bit sweaty over here and punishing him for it. Very well done. That's all I have to say about that. That was an absolutely fantastic grab there, and we'll see if he can recover from that. And I certainly don't think it'll be easy, but we'll see. Third base going up for TLO, getting the injects main saturated, getting the drones up to saturate that natural expansion. And Special's going to start cranking out the Hellions. This makes me think we're going to have probably Banshee opening. I feel like it could still be something else, but I feel like we've been kind of veering away in this meta from the Battlecruiser rush. A lot of Zerg players have just gotten really good at killing Terrans when they scout the BC, because they're like, oh yeah, now I just build a bunch of units and kill you. Especially Zergs that do like the Roach or the Ravager Ling openings. Those are extremely hard to defend. And even when the Battlecruiser finishes, if they have enough Roaches and Lings in your base, you're usually still dead no matter what at that point. So the Banshees have kind of become a more normal opening. Banshee Hellion. We were talking about this earlier in the bracket, but Banshee Hellion just basically is a little bit better because a lot of Zergs just blindly go Roach Ling to kill a Terran that would be building Battlecruisers. And I do not mind that. I do not mind that at all. Third command center is on the way. Dario has the free Overlord spot. I can see this command center, so he knows everything that's going on in this game, including this Cloak Banshee. He's going to move this factory over. Special's going to go for Bio here, which I don't hate, because I think you're trying to get inside the Zerg's head a little bit in terms of what they have available to them, composition-wise. You see the Hellions. You see Cloak Banshee. You think to yourself, it's got to be one thing. You didn't see the Tech Lab spinning with stem on it, but based on what he did last game, he still got a decent number of Speedlings and a Bane Nest at the beginning. So it's not like he isn't prepared for whatever could come his way. So presumably, The only thing I think that could end up hurting him is if he only has one evolution chamber, because he thinks it's like a BC rush or mech. You definitely want to get double evolution chamber to get both of your upgrades for playing the Lingbane Muta versus Bio, or even if it's going to be Hydra Lingbane. 2 Cloak Banshees round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. There's a Spore and a Queen though. She's going to get 1, 2, 3 drones and then back off. Another evolution chamber is starting. I do like to see that. Comes the Vundavunch and a Spire. 1 Banshee dead. Yeah, Banshees, I think they're pretty solid defensively in this meta, but I'll be the first Terran player to tell you it's really, really hard to get your money back with Banshees on the harassment side of things versus Zerg. Queens have, what, 30% more range than them and significantly more hit points. So it's always difficult to get stuff done with Banshees on the other side. There's no roaches coming though, so it's not like it's not like you're going to be controlling them too much anyway, since Special's playing Bio. We do have the 1-1 halfway complete, so he's got a pretty good upgrade position versus TLO in this game. And it's certainly nice for him. He hasn't taken the same kind of blow that he took on Zen. So let's see what he can get done. Plenty of Lings being added, Banelings being added, Bane Speed. Spire's almost done. I would love to see some Lingbane Muta. I'm never going to say no to that. Lingbane Muta versus Bio, I think, is hard for Terran on these big maps, but you can certainly do it. You got a lot of places to drop. Almost gets a deny on that hatch. She's going to pull back. Just a lot of Lingbane. And TLO is going to get to work on those destructible rocks. I think he hears the sound and he's like, all right, I'm going to kill the Lings from above. There's almost a creep tumor he could get there. Changelings are going to spread out. Another changeling is on the way. Oh, TLO going for a big run by though. This is Terran's weakness, man. It's hard to deal with this stuff. The SCVs are going to run. Actually, TLO getting boxed in here a little bit. If he had been able to get there like a couple seconds sooner, could have definitely gotten a lot of work done. I have to say that ended up backfiring. A lot of his Zerglings die, but he's getting ready for another counter already. I don't know if he's going to try to swallow the army on creep here. But he says, all right, now the big push is coming. Now I can do the counterattack properly. Or it's a flank. I mean, both options are on the table. He's pushing up towards this base. A couple of Banelings at the Hellbats, and it is going to be that flank. Lings coming in from the backside. Banelings trying to get to the Marines. The Mutas focus down the tanks. And Dr. Daria with a 360-degree surround demolishes the army of Special. And he's pushing him back. However, going off creep is always dangerous. Mutas grab a medevac on the way out, but without that creep spread, these Marines, they ain't too scared of them Banes. It's very easy to kill the Banelings when they're running at you off creep. Especially since most of the Lings did die in that fight. But Dario's just trying to hold on. He's just trying to hold on here. But Special's got his 2-2 upgrades actually very on point. And TLO, he's at 1-1. He has not started his +2 attack. There it is, just now beginning. So he's giving it his all right now. And it's been a hell of a game. I mean, TLO, certainly no chump when it comes to playing in these tournaments, but man, he's had a few really sick runs in these online weeklies. Seriously, he's had quite a few fantastic runs. He's trying to come up over here, looking for love in all the wrong places. One of the Mutas almost going down. You do not want to get hit with the fly swatter. That is the, what is it? What's the name of it? The C-14 Gauss rifle. The giant metal spikes flying through the sky into your Mutalisks. It's not fun. 2 medevacs over here, though. Oop. Don't want to lose those. Gets a good hit on that. And Mutas regen their health pretty fast, so as long as he doesn't die, it's good. Oh, he's looking for another chance to hit the medevac. This command center has not yet transformed into a planetary or anything like that. 1 missile turret is being added. He's getting drilling claws. That makes me happy. I don't really think siege tanks are very good versus Zerg personally. So I do really like to see, unless your opponent is living in 2016 with like Mass Roach Ravager or Hydra Roach, which no one does anymore. I think drilling claws is a really good choice here by Juanito. Did he get a second factory at any point? No. Okay. So it's not ideal, but he's going to build another reactor with the starport and probably move this factory here, which I do like. A Thor or two isn't bad, but it's not like it's mass muta. He's transitioning into Hydroling Bane. So he won't have upgrades for the Hydras, but it's not that bad. Hydra range is only just now coming in, so it might not be here in time for a fight, which would be scary. He's got 9 going up to 17 or so Hydralisks. Banelings are coming in to push those. Siege tanks not sieged yet. Plenty of Marines left over after the first Bane wave, but without the tanks, Special's going to need some phenomenal splitting. He's trying to move back, but he's actually stepping on a creep to try and get away from this in the beginning. Banelings are going to land the majority of their hits. The Hydralisks and the Mutalisks are still alive. They're going to begin to chase the units back. TLO's next wave coming over as Special's next wave gets swallowed up, even off creep. The Medivacs boosting away as fast as humanly possible. 2 more factories are going to be added, realizing, oh my goodness, I might actually need siege tanks for these Hydras instead of Widow Mines. And TLO playing some 600 IQ 8-dimensional chess. He's been having a hell of a game go. Lurker Den is now on the way, going into Hive Tech as well. But Special's just got his Marines and his Marauders. Yeah, he finished Drilling Claws, but this is not a Widow Mine composition anymore. It's a lot of Hydralisks. And as we've seen, Lurkers, since the new upgrades that they got, they can go up to 10 range. They are extremely terrifying to go up against. And these mutas are on the hunt too. That medevac actually almost just flew straight into them. He's going to come over here. He's like, you know what? I'll take an add-on or two. That's fine. This is important for the Terran. These guys try to poke up there. He steps back. Mutas on the run outside. That tech lab looks like it will burn down. No SCV being sent to try and save it. He's rather going to go for a few Hydras here. And a big possible push onto this third base that does not really have much defense on it. Just a single tank. Second one shows up, but not sieged anywhere near in time to save the SCVs. I feel like the Hydras could have right-clicked on that command center, but he doesn't want to risk losing them. He's like, all right, I'll burn out the cheap units. I'll burn out the Banes. I'll burn out the Lings. Do we have Hive Tech units being added, though? No, okay, just going for Lurkers. Adding Seismic Spines, which is a fantastic upgrade. Seismic Spines is what gives the Lurkers 10 range. Very hard to deal with. And then, of course, they also have the other upgrade, Adaptive Talons, that allows them to burrow instantly. And that upgrade is scary, dude. Two overseers in the east. I'm like, is he going to go for a Nidus? Are we going to get some wild stuff? No? Okay. He's got 71 creep tumors after that one got picked off. So he's kind of running low now. I do really like Vipers, though. Vipers are so good to have here. Throws some Lings on this command center. Kills it. No cancel. That's an oof. Does cancel this base of TLOs. That's a cancel, not a kill. Reverse oof. Careful with the medevacs, though. Them Hydras, man. So he's starting to spread out the Lurkers. And Lurkers are incredible versus Bio. Especially as that Lurker count rises and he gets Adaptive Talons. It becomes very hard to play versus this. Does he have a scan to deal with this? No. Oof. Well, that's why the Lurkers are so good. They're burrowed. They have insane range. 10 range on these Lurkers now. And he's just going to move the Hydra Ling, the more mobile side over there. Careful of going off of the creep. Love to see him try to squeeze some Lurkers on that west side. Ghost Academy now begins for Special. He's got a lot of tanks. I don't know about this. This is does he have a scan? He has a scan. TLO could be thrown here. He's got to be careful. The Hydras and the Lurkers are doing everything that they can. There's only 3 Lurkers alive. And I think an extreme overextension by Zavundavunch there may have just cost him this game. He lost almost all of the army supply. He just has a single Lurker and a single Viper. Handful of Hydras and Lings. He's building more Hydras and Lings, but this is going to give Special a lot of time to reposition as he needs to get those Lurker count back up. Does he have scans? That's the hard part, though. If he doesn't have enough scans, he's not going to be able to actually get through that. He still only has the 3 orbitals, so the Lurkers can still save the day. Yeah, he saves that. He saves that one, but unfortunately, he's not able to get away from there. He's going to siege up the tanks on the west side. TLO doing his best to recover after the loss of that previous army. He still has a pretty fantastic economy. He definitely can't afford to take another fight like that last one, though. That was really, really, really rough for him. The Viper not using Consume either. Waiting to see if we were going to have like Abduct or Blinding Cloud. Okay, blinds one of the tanks. Don't hate that. But 5 lurkers are up on the other side, not able to participate in this engagement. And if you're Special, you're just saving all your orbital energy. Just save the orbital energy. Special's pushing up onto this base. TLO trying his best to stabilize, but unfortunately, those lurkers, as good as they are, without support, they can't really get the job done on their own. Medivacs, they can boost over. The siege tanks do have a lot of range. Repositions there to grab that tank. Not bad. Had a lurker actually in the backside as well. That one is trying to get away. Nope. What will it take for Special to crack this guy? That's the real question. TLO is playing a hell of a game. Special is going to finally take another base, and I think that that's where he might get the money he needs. These lurkers are all dead. Like I said, even without the support, man, the lurkers could do damage, but they can't take the whole army on alone. Spore Crawlers grab a Liberator kill there. Good response by TLO. He's going to move these lurkers. Careful about that orbital, actually, as the siege tank takes some hits. There is a missile turret. I was gonna say, that orbital is actually pretty low on hit points. If he was able to kill that, that'd be massive. But he's got some Hydras, got some Lings. Can the Banes reach the bio? That's the big question. The answer seems to be no. And the lurker count continues to dwindle. But Special is also kind of broke on minerals. It's not really mining natural. Main is mined out. The third base is mined out. So he's really just got his half mining fourth, and now this fifth. This fifth is going to be the saving grace for Special. There's just not really a whole lot here for TLO. I'm still mind blown by how well he's been holding on, though. I feel like this has been the scrappiest game ever, but the majority of Special's army supply is in medevacs. He's got tanks spread out, but he's only got 9 Marauders and 6 Marines. So it's a very, very scrappy. It feels weird to say low eco game. I'd love to see Parasitic Bomb TLO. Parasitic Bomb all those medevacs. Splitting that would be a huge pain. Or really Abduct. Abduct is also good in this situation. He's got options. TLO's army composition very well rounded and able to deal a lot with this. Special building a missile turret next to his siege line. But TLO's like, you know what? I'm probably going to lose this base. He's got some spread out lurkers. He's like, I really need to kill this planetary. I would blinding cloud the planetary and bring the lurkers over. Just blinding cloud the PF. Get the lurkers in there. And do your thing. Down, do your thing. There you, oh my god, TLO. My man. My man. And there you go. He comes over. Oh, missile turret could kill a Viper. That would not be fun. But now the lurkers are going to get the SCVs from behind. And that's just a beautiful shutdown of this base. 23 SCVs killed in the midst of all of this. Yes, there are Liberators, but they don't even have their full suite of upgrades. In fact, they have none. So things are looking pretty, I don't know. Who's winning? Who's ahead? It's hard to say. Special's very low on money, but TLO just lost 2 lurkers there for nothing. So with how scrappy of a game this is, every single unit is so important. And I feel like the siege tank count is going to become a growing issue. He does have a Spire, but he hasn't transformed it into a greater Spire. He can't really afford to. So these are the questions that kind of run through my mind. How exactly is he going to be able to get it done? Dealing with the tanks is going to be hard. I do like getting a Raven here. He's got 2,500 gas. Lots of people like to make fun of Terran players for floating gas, but no, there's not a single combat unit Terran can build that costs more gas than minerals. So assuming that you mine out your base and spend your money, you will always have extra gas somewhere. That's just the way it is, especially playing bio. But even with mech, there are no Terran units that cost more gas than minerals. What it really means is he needs another base. He needs another base. And did he lose a bunch of depots? Yeah, the command center. Actually, that's actually even more terrifying to think about. The orbital count is down to 2. He's only got 2 orbital commands. So those lurkers are going to become progressively stronger. I don't think the Raven's going to be that fantastic because you could just abduct it, right? If that Raven gets abducted, then his whole army could just die to the lurkers. And he's getting some good shots. There you go. Yoink, yoink, yoink. And if the bio tries to storm in, Blinding Cloud's not bad there either. Yoink, yoink. Oh, he tried to get the ghost. I don't hate the ghost. The problem with the ghost is that if the Zerg has vision... Ooh, that's a scary Dorito cannon. Juanito gave him the Dorito. The ghost snipe range, I think, is just 9, maybe 10. So lurkers can actually hit a ghost trying to snipe them. So it's not even as simple as like, oh yeah, just snipe the lurkers. You need to catch them without the detection. You need to get the cloak, something like that going, which is very hard. I do like the continued Raven production. It's the best way to use that gas because if you don't want to lose one Raven and have it cost you the game. Also, Dorito Cannon is really strong against everything, so taking the 3 armor away would always be nice. Dario is going to try and jump on top of this army. Big Blinding Cloud forcing him to run backwards. Huge surround by the lurkers, but most of them are still on the left side over here. Throws a Dorito Cannon into the Hydra Ling. And TLO says, oh, that's fine. I'm just going to send these weakened guys down to your other base while you deal with these. Raven is dead. So the lurkers, he's forced to scan. Great transfuse by TLO at the same time to keep these lurkers alive as long as possible. And yes, these queens probably going to die, but so is this base. And that is 1 orbital command on the map for our Terran player to deal with 6 lurkers, 5 lurkers as he yoinks everything in. And GG is called. TLO has done it with the upset over Special. Oh my God. Well played. GG. Holy, that was awesome, dude. That was awesome.